You ready for this? Ready as you'll ever be?
Where's my popsicle?
This is not a popsicle talk.
Oh, this is not one of those kind of videos, right?
No, this is a different kind. You see all those little white butterflies? See that one over there? Have you noticed how many there is out here? There's another one. You know what I think that is? Well, I know it's cabbage moss, cabbage butterflies.
Meaning?
Those that we grew outside of the cover, I think they hatched out because of that. So that's the first time we've had them in years, and they're everywhere. See those two over there?
Mm-hmm.
And then see this little one right here?
Are they detrimental or no?
I don't know.
They'll probably eat the rest of what we got left.
Well, I don't know. It's their little larvae, their first stage of life that eats what you got, eats your plants.
Their little what?
Larvae.
Larvae?
Is it not how you say it?
I generally would say larva.
Larva?
Not larva. It's like French. Larvae.
What about saliva? How do you say that?
Saliva.
I say saliva.
I generally don't even say it because it's just not something I'm going to talk about. I just call it spit.
Well, I mean, I do too, but, you know, if I had to say it. And then
Why are we
Corey and
talking
Katie
about
makes
this?
fun of me because I started talking about the butterflies. Okay, let's do this. Today, Matt and I are going to share more answers to your questions. It's been quite a while since we did one of these. And so we've still never worked through all the questions that we got in the first place.
I need to clarify that. Most every day is a Q&A around here because the questions come at me nonstop. All day, almost every day.
If it's not me, it's your daughter. If it's not that daughter, it's the other daughter calling you on the telephone.
Right? And if it's not neither one of them, it's the little bitty one, and he runs in there and goes, eh? And nobody knows what that is, but it's something.
It's a question.
It is
a question.
It's always in a question form when
Yeah.
he makes a noise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, so you're prepared then. You're a pro at this.
Yeah, I guess.
If you missed any of the previous Q&As, Matt being questioned, I'll leave the link in the description below for a playlist.
Go.
So you should just be ready for this then.
I'm always ready for most anything.
What did we think when we found out that our daughters are twins? What did we think when we found out that they were identical?
I don't
Not
know.
much.
I mean, just the fact that we're having twins was mind-blowing enough. It didn't matter really whether they was identical or
Yeah.
whatever.
I think this person means like later in life when we found out, really in the last, 4 or 5 years or something, that for sure they were identical. My doctor always thought they were. Their pediatrician thought they were. I thought they were when they were probably, I don't know, 10 or 11, 12 years old, something like that. And they clogged for the John C. Campbell Folk School. And there was another mother that had a daughter that was clogging. And she had older twins, like a huge age difference. They were grown by then, boys. And they were identical mirror image twins. And she made Corey and Katie, like, you know, she asked them, are you both left-handed, right-handed, what? Well, there's one of each. Then she looked at their hair. She looked at their eyes. She done all these little things. She made them stand behind, back to back, and do something. I can't remember now what it was. And then she declared they were mirror image twins. So from then on, I thought, they probably are. And if they are, then that means they're identical. So I kind of suspected, but we never had like a DNA test or anything like that. And about the time Matt and I had them, the thinking on twins changed. This is what my pediatrician told me. We knew nothing about twins. We didn't know nothing. But up until that point, it was like if they had separate everything, separate sacs and all that, that they were just fraternal. That's just it. But then after that, about that same time, they decided, well, no, if they could be identical if they split kind of instantly, then they would have everything separate. So when Matt and I were pregnant, they said fraternal. They called them fraternal because they had everything separate. You don't remember none of this, do you?
I wasn't pregnant, you was.
Well, when I was pregnant, and you were there. You was there when we found out we was going to have twins.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I was really, really sick, so I had to be put in the hospital. And then they ordered an ultrasound because my doctor said, what you're saying seems like you're way further along pregnant than you're saying. And so, of course, they had to admit me to the hospital because I was so sick. So he said, while you're there, we'll do an ultrasound, make sure everything's okay. So that's when we found out they were twins. And it
was shocking.
The lady that did the ultrasound, of course, she wasn't supposed to tell us nothing, but she kind of led us, was like, okay, here's a baby. And then she's like, so if that's a baby, what's that? I mean, Matt's like, I mean, she just basically had to tell us there's twins. But then when she did that, Matt was like, oh my Lord, what's all those other places?
Yeah, the whole screen was full of stuff just like what she pointed.
But she said, it's okay, those were cysts on her ovaries. I had a lot of trouble. We have a video, we'll link to that, about all my reproductive problems we had before that. So we were very, very blessed to have Corey and Katie. Anyway, but that was an exciting day, wasn't it? Find out there was two of them.
Yeah.
We didn't even know if we was ready for one, but we kind of had to find out, and then we had two.
Yep.
So, okay, to go right along with that one is, do we know that because they are identical, that makes the boys, Woodrow and Ira, closer than just cousins? And I didn't know that. I never even give it no thought. But when Corey had Woodrow, and, of course, we went to visit and see the new little baby and all that, it wasn't the nurse, it was the doctor that come in there to check on Corey that day. Corey had a very, very hard delivery. And she got to talking, because since we went, of course, Katie and Ira went with us, so we were all there, and she's like, oh, is this a cousin, whatever, and they got to talking, and once she found out that they were twins, then she told us that. She said, well, actually, they're closer than cousins. They're more like half-brothers or something. So that was really interesting. We didn't know that. They are nothing alike so far.
Not at all.
Not at all. They don't look alike. Woodrow looks just like Austin, of course, but they don't act alike either. They're both precious, but they're nothing alike. Totally different. Totally different. Did the girls, when they were young, like to hunt with Matt?
They went a time or two, but they didn't really take to it, not like what I was hoping they would. They were just going just to be going and spending time. They didn't care anything about the hunting, which is fine, which is, everybody's got their own thing, or enjoys their own thing, but they did go with me a few times, and it usually turned into something silly, and there wasn't much hunting going on.
Lots of eating snacks and...
Yeah, we'd eat snacks, and if I took both of them with me at the same time, then it really got silly, because I would tell them to be quiet, and then they would look at each other and start snickering, and it just, in a minute, it just all fell apart,
Yeah.
And then they started making lots of noise, and then they figured once they made noise, we might as well eat, and there's crinkling papers, and yeah, but I just kind of sat there and joined in with them at that point.
And if you took one of them and they were still, because they didn't have any company, they'd fall asleep, wouldn't they?
Yep. I think each of them went to sleep with me a time or two in the woods, yeah.
Good memories, though.
Yeah.
Do we like John Wayne?
Yes.
Yes.
John Wayne is the man.
And if we do like John Wayne, which we do we have a favorite movie? What's your favorite movie, John Wayne?
My favorite one would be True Grit.
That's a good one. My favorite one is, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one where his wife lives back east or whatever without him, and then she comes to town and they fuss and fight, but by the end of it, they work it all out.
McClintock.
Yeah, that one. I like that one.
That's a good one.
I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's the one I like. Do you have favorite NASCAR drivers? That's mostly for Matt. I'm not interested in NASCAR.
You used to watch it?
I used to watch it with Matt because Matt did.
Who was your favorite?
I like Darrell Waltrip. I just thought he always seemed very nice.
What?
Because I thought he seemed nice.
Yeah, okay.
And his brother, what was his name?
Michael.
I thought they just seemed nice. They seemed like somebody I'd know from down the road.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite?
My favorite was Dale Earnhardt Sr. For sure.
Yeah. Matt don't watch it much anymore.
I don't watch it at all anymore.
He watches, though, some...
I watched it I watched it up until about 6 or 7 years ago.
When we got rid of our TV, like network TV, satellite TV, whatever, when we got rid of it, Matt quit watching it.
And then along about that time, and maybe a little prior to that, it seemed to make a little bit of a change, and they went a different direction, and I was just not interested, so I just totally quit watching.
But now you watch, was it like Dirt Track or something online?
Yeah,
on
I watch, and I like dirt track racing better anyway, really, but I always did follow NASCAR from fairly young up until 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. We live near a dirt track, the Brasstown Raceway. Is that what it's called?
Tri-County Racetrack.
Tri-County Racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
and we can hear them from here.
Yeah, we can hear them from here. And then there's several people, of course, because living that close, that we know that race there. Or that race, maybe started there and now race somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. How long were we engaged? We have a whole video about getting married. And how we met, and how I tried to sell Matt's truck and out from under him, and when he made me mad. And
just your normal, average, everyday engagement.
Yeah, that was before we were engaged, when I tried to sell his truck. Anyway, but I can link to that whole episode in the description. But I guess we were engaged about a year or something like that. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. Something like a year.
Either. But I will put this in. If I try to sell my own truck, you won't let me. If I try to sell mine to get a different one when it's time, then you're all against that, but it's okay for you to sell my truck. And we weren't even married yet. So I can see how this whole power dynamic has come together, and I'm on the bottom of that one.
You have had all kinds of trucks since we've been married. You've sold them and traded them and done all kinds of stuff. You've had all kinds of trucks. I can't even remember all the trucks you've had.
Not without duress.
Well, you ignored my duress, so... have we ever been, right on the heels of that, have we ever been in a car wreck?
Yeah.
Did you get hurt bad, or?
No. I've been in several, real low-key car wrecks. All of pretty much my own doing, but I've never been in like what you'd call a really bad accident or hurt in one of them, But I've been in 3 or 4 that rolled over, but not high speed or anything like that. It's generally in the woods. 1 or 2 of them was not, but I never was injured. Got my bumped on the head maybe, but that was it.
Yeah, same for me. Nothing bad. Nothing where I got injured bad. I wrecked my friend, and then the friend wrecked me. So we were both together in her car and then in my car. I think my car was first. I can't remember. I think so. And mine was totally avoidable, which sometimes when you're that age, I don't know, some of Matt's may have been avoidable too, but it was snowing, and Daddy told me that I should let him come get me from work. We worked at McDonald's. And I said, no, I can drive, being the know-it-all teenager. Well, I could not drive, so I wrecked us, yeah. And then I was so mad at myself, but Daddy was so good. He said, no, Tipper, don't worry about it. Said, what if I'd come to get you and we'd all wrecked and somebody got hurt? So don't worry, he was the best. Anyway, but me and Matt, neither one's been terribly injured in a car wreck. We've been very, very fortunate, very lucky. Have we ever heard pots and pans called cooking vessels?
Yep.
I've heard that, but nobody in my family says it.
Yeah, it's old-timey. I like that.
Yeah, I've heard it, other people, and probably more heard it, for me, like reading in my Appalachian language books and things like that, or people talking about Appalachian language, or maybe somebody leaving a comment on the blog or here on YouTube, but no one in my family says cooking vessels.
I'm familiar with it. I've heard it and I've read it.
Do I make yogurt or cottage cheese or ice cream or cakes and cookies from scratch? I don't make yogurt as much now, but when the girls were little, I made it all the time, and I do have a video where I show how to make it. I mostly make it now for my friends. They love it, and I'll make it for them and give it to them at Christmas or something like that. But I used to make it all the time when the girls were little. They ate a lot of yogurt. And cottage cheese, I made like the farmer's cheese. I'm losing my voice again. Made the farmer's cheese, which is kind of like cottage cheese, but not often. maybe just once a year or something like that. If I have old milk that needs to be used, that's when I would do that. For ice cream, Matt bought me an ice cream maker, and we use it, and it's good. We ain't made no ice cream this summer, though.
No, it's Amara does.
I don't know, but you know what I see in our future?
What's that?
Peach ice cream.
Oh.
You know why?
Because we got peaches coming.
Yeah, because our nephew Ben, Granny just called me right before we started this video to tell me that Ben had left me 2 bags of peaches at her house. So I see peach ice cream in our future. And then cakes and cookies, most all the time. I make them a lot from scratch. Sometimes I'll use a mix if I'm doing some kind of cake. Like I recently in the video shared the Dole cupcakes. But I make lots of our sweets, and not just sweets though, our food. We cook from scratch a lot. It's mostly how we cook.
Yeah, most every single thing we do is that way.
It's just from scratch, yeah. Do I ever teach at the folk school? I've not taught at the folk school in, I guess, since COVID, 5 years or something. It's been a long time. Time goes by so fast. But I will actually be sort of teaching, not really teaching, in about 2 weeks. I'll leave that link in the description below too, where you can go read it. It's actually their Appalachian week, where all their classes kind of focus on Appalachia, whether it's, it's like cooking in the cooking studio, or maybe it's a weaving technique that's popular in the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. Music, of course, storytelling, dance, those kind of things. And I'm just going to be their resident artist that week, so I'll be there to talk to students, and I will be giving 3 presentations that week of the evening, and they're open to the public, so you could come if you were so inclined. But I'll leave all that in the description below. But it's been a long time since I've done anything at the folk school, so that will be exciting. Do we ever go out to eat?
Once in a while, but
not very often.
Not very often, no. We used to a little more than we do now, but we just very seldom do now. I guess that kind of goes along with that other question about cooking from scratch. We figure we can probably make it better at home, and it's better at home anyway, so we just stay here and cook and eat.
Yeah.
Occasionally, for a special occasion, we'll go somewhere and eat.
The most often that I go out to eat, which is once every 3 or 4 months or something like that, but I have a group of girlfriends, and we'll go out to eat for each other's birthday or just to get together or something like that. But then I'm not taking Matt with me. It's just a hen party.
Just a hen party,
Just
that's
a hen
it.
party.
I get to stay home and eat peanut butter while you're
I usually bring you something.
dining on...
Often everybody says, take the leftovers to Matt, and everybody kind of piles what they didn't eat into my to-go box, and I bring it to Matt. They donate their food to Matt.
And it's crazy, too. It's usually 8:30, 9 o'clock when she gets back home, and I've already eaten supper, and then I tear into that and eat that again.
Yeah, whatever that is. And even then, I'm like, the next one that we go out to eat is my birthday. And usually we say whoever's birthday it is picks where to eat. But I always say, I don't care, because they do go out to eat often. I always say, I don't care. Y'all pick wherever you've not been, or wherever I'm afraid I'll pick somewhere you don't like. I don't really know, since we don't eat out much, what's good these days. So I usually even let them pick for mine, for my birthday. It doesn't bother me. Does Matt love his Tops knife?
Yeah. I do. I think I'll buy another.
Okay. Is that it?
Y'all heard it. Okay.
You buy whatever you want. Is
I
that
actually
it?
have it on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, that was serendipitous there. So that's the brand of it, Tops?
Tops is the brand of it, and it is a Tannenboka, is what it's called. It's a little Puko styled knife. And yeah, I like it. It's excellent steel. Excellent handles. It's not very pretty, but who cares?
Is it expensive? Is it an expensive knife?
It's a little more expensive now than when I bought it. I've had it 6 years anyway. It's $125 knife, I think, something like that.
What makes you like it? The way it feels, or?
Yeah, I'm kind of a knife snob on feel as far as that goes. I'm not as much what they look like, because this one's not very pretty. It's kind of weird looking, but I like the shape of the handle, I like the shape of the blade and the length of the blade and what the steel's made of. It's 1095 carbon steel. And it just, you know,
Just has a good feel.
fits my hand good, works well, stays sharp. It's not hard to sharpen. And I've done found out it does a pretty good job on deer skinning.
Does this little holster thing come with it, or did you buy
No,
it?
it came with a leather sheath, and I bought this Kydex sheath aftermarket that fits this. It's made specifically for this knife.
Where'd you find it? On eBay?
Found it
or-
on eBay, yep.
Matt's a big eBay person.
You can find about anything you want on there.
Do we ever have people show up at our house, and if we do we care? So this is an interesting question. We've not had many people show up at our house, and it's hard for me just because I hate to say it about myself, but because I'm nice, I hate to say, and we do care, but we kind of do care, and it's not because of you probably. Me and Matt are so blessed. 99.5% of all the interactions we have with people, whether here on YouTube, the blog, emails, text, correspondence in the mail. See, people contact us in all different ways. All of it is not only just nice, so kind and so touching, and so, I mean, y'all let us do what we love. I mean, you're so good to us. But there is that, 0.5% of people that are really not nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just not nice, just like, and you can just brush it off, like is like talking about Matt being my husband, is he also your brother? Those kind of stupid stuff because of being from Appalachia.
Yeah.
Or even, man, you should do something with your hair or something like that. That's just trivial. But there are times that we get really mean stuff, threatening stuff, if you will.
Threatening life and limb.
Yeah, Matt hunts. He's a hunter, and he provides food for our family, and we eat it, and we're thankful for it, and we're meat eaters, and that's just who we are. But there's people that don't like that, and they think that because Matt hunts, our family should be hunted.
Right.
There's other emails, and correspondence, letters, people, and then that's kind of the scary part. So one thing, if somebody's just, we call them, keyboard warriors behind the screen, they say something mean to you. But if somebody takes the time to actually write you out a letter and tell you how bad you are and tell you what they wish would happen to you, and not just us, me and Matt, but our children, that's when you're like, this is scary and mean and ugly. And me and Matt don't talk. If you watch all our videos, we've never said a word about that because we don't want to put sunlight on something like that. It's just better to ignore it and let it go away. We don't want to give them any kind of acknowledgement about it. But anyway, it is there. It is true. So then you think about people coming to your house that you don't know.
Got to be wary.
You got to be wary.
And we are.
99.5% of all the people that would decide to come to our house was probably people that we wouldn't just love. I mean, we would welcome them, we would love them, and invite them to spend the night, make them a pallet and a floor, cook them supper. But then you got to think, what if that 0.5% showed up and they did have, a weapon or something, or they come and tried to set your house on fire, all the things, you think of all the things. So, and like Matt said, you have to be wary, especially when you think about your children, your grandchildren. And even here where we live, we are so blessed. We live in a very isolated place, a mountain holler, and it's all family. It's all family. So we don't have to worry about any of that with our neighbors. It's nothing like, we never have to think about safety in that situation. And they don't either, because they know us intimately too, so nobody has to worry about it. But their kids also are free to roam around that, are older and bigger, just like I did when I was growing up here. So then you think about that 0.5% of people coming to your mountain holler and hunting for your house. What if they go to one of their houses and then they have children, and then that's just like, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for that too, because they're looking for this, the person they hate that kills deer or whatever reason other it is that they hate us, who knows, Most of those people they have something wrong mentally, But so no, we wouldn't want people just to show up at our house. However, we would love to meet you. Now, what a lot of people, or not a lot, but some people, what they've done is they've contacted us by email or something, and they say, hey, I'm going to be traveling through Murphy. I'm on my way to Pigeon Forge or somewhere. is there any way I could take you out to supper or something and meet you? I just love to talk to you for a minute. And if we can, if it's where we're able to, we say, sure, we'd be glad to meet you somewhere and meet you and talk to you and eat with you and fellowship one with another. And we've done that several times and thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. It's been so nice. Yeah, I had a big time. Made friends and people we text with, you know, it's really nice. That's really nice. So that would be the best way to do it. And again, that's kind of hard for me to even say because I am nice and I hate to hurt people's feelings. But like Matt said, you just have to be careful.
And also, this, for that little small percentage that, and hopefully they never do, and they probably won't, but, you know, you still got to be on guard.
Yeah.
This would be a really poor choice to kind of place to come.
The entire holler, yeah.
Because there's only one way in, one way out, and we're at the end.
Yeah.
And they're just running their mouth is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are keyboard warriors, but
when
still
they
you
take
don't
the
know.
time to write you a letter, several letters, then you don't know.
But once again, they don't have really any way of knowing it. But it would be such a poor choice that they couldn't, they just wouldn't be able to believe it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So hopefully it never happens.
Oh yeah.
Never have to worry about it. Don't never want nothing like that to happen. But we are pretty well prepared for about anything.
Yeah, and every house here is.
And every single house here is. Yes.
Yeah, every house here is. So there's that. But still, we would love to meet you. Just let us know, though, and tell us, and maybe it's where it aligns with our schedule and we can come and eat with you and fellowship and get to know you. That'd be wonderful. We'd love that. We'd love that. Okay, are there tent revivals here? This was from my friend Skip, who I did get to meet at one of the cookbook signings. Very, very nice, so nice. And he's watched our videos since then, before then, and really supported us. And it was so wonderful to get to meet him. Me and Corey both got to meet him. Are there tent revivals here in Western North Carolina? Skip said his grandfather used to hold them actually in Western North Carolina, which that's really interesting. So there is a tent revival that they've been having pretty much as long as I can remember up towards Andrews. Even when I was thinking about those days of being pregnant with Corey and Katie, I worked at the Lee Company. It's not there anymore. It's where IOI is now in Andrews, but the Lee Company. And I would see it then because it was right there. I'd have that whole time I worked there if they were having it. And any others, Matt, that they usually have here?
We used to have one in Hayesville, pretty regular. I don't know that they still do. I don't remember seeing it, in quite a while, but maybe they moved it or maybe I'm just not seeing where it's at or whatever, but it was pretty regular every year, yeah.
When one time, I always, y'all know if you watch my videos that I'm plumb foolish about the Appalachian language. I love to talk about the words and the phrases and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things I'll be talking about at the folk school one night. But often I will ask, if I was writing on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, I would ask Corey and Katie to test them because I'm like, I wonder if if they understand what that means too. And often they do, but the tent revival reminds me of one. One time I said, I was writing about it on the Blind Pig. I was back there at my computer and suddenly I thought, well, I wonder if they know what that means. So I yell out through the house. I'm like, hey, do you know what a brush arbor is? And Katie and Corey. And brush arbor, if you don't know what it is, it would be like almost think of a tent structure, but built from, limbs and poles and stuff like before canvas was available or whatever. And they would often do that and have church like that. That would have been the precursor to the tent revival. Anyway, so I yell out, hey, do you know what a brush arbor is? And Katie says, yeah, I know what it is. I thought, oh, well, good. I said, what is it? Yell again, and she said, it's when a bunch of churches get together and pile brush. So she had part of it right. She had the church part right. But it was so funny, though. So it's what she thought it was.
It's a little crossed up.
A little crossed up, yeah. How do we use nuts and berries, and what is our favorite? So what's your favorite nut? We'll start with that one.
I like pecans awful well. And English walnuts.
Yeah. What about pistachios? You've got on. Matt's been on a pistachio kick. His mother, Miss Cindy, would get them, And we hadn't had none in a long time, and now he's found some.
Yeah, I only like them if they're roasted and salted.
Yeah, roasted and salted.
Any of the nuts. If they're not roasted and salted, I don't want them.
Yeah. My favorite nut, hands down, is black walnut. Black walnut, I love them. I love it's got a unique, distinct taste. Matt doesn't like them very much, but I love them. You going to say what they taste like?
No, it's this is a family channel.
They taste very good. So that's my favorite. And I like to eat them out of hand. Matt likes to eat those he was just talking about out of hand. I like almonds too, though. I like almonds a lot. And then we like them like cooked and stuff. Maybe in baked goods, thinking of cakes and stuff, like the Arch tater cake. That's what makes it so good, is the black walnuts. And I also like nuts, the almonds, in a salad. Okay, what about berries? What's your favorite berry?
Blackberry. Although I have, in recent times, learned to really like blueberries. For a long time, I wouldn't even eat them.
Blueberries is my favorite, hands down.
But especially since we've got all these bushes, and I've just kind of started picking at them, and then carrying Junior back there around because he has to eat them 14 times a day. I've kind of got to where I like them.
I love blueberries. They're my very favorite.
And I sure love a blueberry pie.
Yeah.
Blueberry cobbler.
Yeah, I love blueberries. I like blackberries too, and I like raspberries. I'm not much of a strawberry person. They're okay, but only at that one time of the spring of the year when you can get them, and that's all. But I love blueberries is my favorite, hands down. And the same thing, we would eat any of those out of hand if we had them, but also in cakes and pies and salads and whatever. Be good.
Yep.
This is a good one. We'll end on this one. Does Matt, you have to know Matt to make this be fun, why I think it's a good one. Does Matt play chess, checkers, horseshoes, or any other games?
So how do you think that's funny?
Because Matt don't do games of any kind whatsoever. None. Zip, period. I learned that about him when we dated. Nothing. Not Old Maid, not Sorry or Monopoly, nothing.
I don't even know what that stuff is. I know what Monopoly is, of course, but those other ones, I don't know.
Me and Paul would play Sorry for hours.
I've never played a hand of cards, never played cards, don't know how to play cards, don't know anything about them. Don't know which ones. I mean, I just don't know nothing about none of them. That's just not my thing, never was.
And you don't do checkers? I wouldn't know how to play chess, I wouldn't know that, but I used to like to play checkers. I like Chinese checkers too.
Yeah, I don't know how to do. I don't know how to do none of that stuff.
Matt ain't interested. He's happy to sit and watch you do it, but he's not interested.
Yeah, and it's just I never did do it, and I don't know. It's just not my thing. I was always outside and was interested in other things outside or in the woods or in the creeks or whatever. Never learned it, so I just never had an interest in it.
Yeah.
It's funny, a lot of people, and even now I watch. Like, all the time on TV, you see people playing poker or something in a movie or on TV or whatever, and I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I've heard the phrases and stuff enough to kind of pick up a little bit on what's going on, but not much. But a great deal of men know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I just never had any interest in it, and
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing. Keeps me from gambling.
Yeah. I loved to play games when I was little. Like I said, me and Paul would play Sorry all the time, and of course Old Maid and Go Fish and all those. And my cousins and I would play Hide the Key for hours, and it didn't have to be a key. It might just be a piece of plastic we were using. We'd play that. We'd play Hide and Go Seek, and me and Beverly played Clue forever. Clue was just, you had to figure out who done the mystery. Even in recent years, I've played games when me and Katie and Corey would go on trips with friends and things like that, and people would want to play. But Matt's not a game player.
Nope.
He doesn't like to play games. But that's okay. It's okay. Like I said, he's happy to sit and watch us play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not my thing.
Just not his thing. Well, you survived another Q&A session.
Yep. Didn't lose a bit of blood.
No.
I was getting worried.
Was you getting worried?
Yeah.
You was wanting it to end?
No, I just want to make sure I don't have to. Just don't want to get injured.
Okay. It is a beautiful day here in the mountains of southern Appalachia. We've got that cooler weather today. It's like 70. It's perfect. It's lovely, isn't it?
Soak it up. It won't last
No,
long.
I know the heat will come back, but it is so nice. And Matt has made a delicious supper that we've already partook of.
I ain't got done with it yet.
I
was going
know,
to make
but-
some more stuff till you eat a bunch of it, so it may just be that.
It was so good. That'd be fine. It was a pork roast,
Pork roast and homemade bread and some
a jar of our
canned
coleslaw, one of the ones that didn't seal, which very funny. Matt put it in the refrigerator. I said, put those in the refrigerator. We'll eat them first. And then when he got it out for us to eat it, it was sealed.
Yeah, the other one is too. That's all
Honey,
right. We'll eat 'em.
eat them. Anyway, it was delicious. So it's been a very nice day. Got this beautiful weather, good food, and good fellowship with all of you. We're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia. And we're amazed that you want to know these things about us, but we're happy to answer your questions.